Hi everyone, welcome to the Big Fella and Little Fella Cricket Show. It's a big show this week. We're going to be talking all things Test cricket, having just got the first Test out of the way. We're also going to be talking about something that's pretty dear to us in pathway cricket and the Under-19 National Champs. We've got a fantastic guest in young gun from WA and Aaron Hardie on. Little Fella's going to be delivering the Blowtorch. Mate, welcome.
Thanks, mate.
How's things?
Yeah, good. It's been a good week. Good win for the Aussies.
Good win. Walk in the park.
A little bit.
Yes.
A little bit.
Yeah. Bit of an anticlimax, I felt, but it was good to get that first Test out of the way.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's I guess it's an expected result. A few surprises in there in the game, and a few good things come of it. So.
Yeah. No, it was good to get summer done. We'll get straight into it. We're going to talk all things first Test. Straight off the bat, mate, I've got to pull you up on something. Last week I said to you, you said to me, Marnus, no lock. Now I'm posing a question to you. In fact, let's just roll it let's just roll what you said last week, mate.
Marnus Labuschagne, this could be the summer that really makes him in his cements his spot as an Australian
you don't
cricketer.
think he's cemented yet, mate? For me, he's concreted.
Not for the next 10 years.
Yeah, really?
Not for the next 10 years,
Jeez,
no.
That's heavy hitting, mate.
I think
No one else has outperformed him recently. Last week you said that he was by no means a lock.
Yes, I did say that.
Is he now the saviour?
Is he the saviour? I still don't think so. I don't think he's a saviour. He could be, but it's one innings against a really, really poor Pakistan attack.
Guys, we're likely to see him on the Blowtorch a bit later. This guy's is a bit.
No, look, taking nothing away from him. He's a great competitor. You know, I guess what we saw from Marnus is he's busy at the crease. He has intent to score. I think what I like about him is his best shot's probably his defence, his full front foot defence. He looks so solid and so still. And when you can do that and you have that good defence, you're going to score with time at the crease. And that's what we saw with Marnus. He scored quickly. He looked comfortable and confident. It's obviously super inning, super player. Hopefully he's now a lock at 3. But prior to this Test, I stand by what I said. He wasn't a lock. And now people are saying that because of this result. So it's a good result for Australian cricket.
Players have got to start somewhere, mate. Let me backtrack. Who would be in his place?
Right now, it's a good question. You'd have to suggest that it would be an Usman Khawaja or...
But Aussie hasn't done anything this summer yet.
Exactly. So he's got every opportunity now, Marnus, to make this spot his own.
How old's Marnus? He's 24, 25?
Yeah, about that. He's young.
Uzi's 32.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, you've got to blood some new players.
I think one more innings in this summer from Marnus means that he's a lock.
Jeez, mate.
One more.
Lucky for Marnus, you're not a selector. Dave Warner, is he back? Have we forgotten about the Ashes?
I think we have because it's the Australian summer. Interesting stat, 1600s on Australian home soil, 6 not on home soil.
So you're effectively, if I read between the lines, you're calling him a flat track bully.
Potentially. It potentially could be. I mean, how do we judge our cricket? Do we pick a team for Australia and then a team for touring parties?
Why not?
Well, okay, is David Warner in that team that go when we go to England? If we go to England again and Dave Warner's still around, does he go?
I think not just going to England, I think playing England. Broad's got his measure. No doubt about that at all.
That's a good shout.
No, absolutely no doubt about that at all. So if we're doing the horses for courses, we've just got George Bailey in as a selector as well. Bit of young blood rather than the old school way of thinking. Big call for George to drop or to suggest to drop Dave Warner. For me personally, if Warner's around, goes back to England, I don't think it's going to happen. He's still one of the premier players in the world. But for me, well, maybe you do. Maybe you blood him in let him play some warm-up games, and if he doesn't fire, Dave, you've got to sit this one out, mate.
And in saying all this, I think we've got to give JL credit for coming out prior to the first Test saying, I'm sticking with Dave Warner. I've got some faith in this bloke, and he's paid that very quickly, hasn't he?
I mean, the Gabba's been a happy hunting ground, so you could lean on it by saying it was a safe bet. They were going to play well there and most likely win. So, now, mate, probably the biggest question we've got, are the Pakistanis going to make a go of this series? Or an innings and whatever and change win? That was good to get it done, but it doesn't inspire me. You know, Adelaide is Australia have lost Tests at Adelaide. So
they've shown glimpses, especially with the bat. Like Babar Azam is quality with the bat. I think Iftikhar Ahmed wasn't at his best clearly. I mean, Harris Hales looked quite poor, but they've shown glimmers that they can put it together. It's just a matter of putting it together. I mean, Rizwan at 7. When was the last time we saw a wicketkeeper, a travelling wicketkeeper in Australia, dominate like he did?
Somebody had to stand up, really, didn't they?
Exactly right. Yeah. So I think they've got the potential there. I've got concerns about both openers, especially Shan Masood. I don't think his technique suits what I guess a good opener is going, and a good opener is going to dominate. He just seems to nudge it around. It's almost like survival from ball one, and there's no change in his game.
It did seem the Australian quicks were on from the get-go. I mean, Stark probably back to his best. Cummins just showing why he's the number one in the world. Hazelwood, look, he was all right. You get away with it.
He was very good. You were critical of Hazelwood last week because you didn't want him in the side.
I said I would have played Jimmy Pattinson for a bit of aggression. That's all.
No,
all right?
you had him
purely on the aggression. I had him at 12th, running drinks. But
he was good, especially early when it mattered.
Yeah. All right, I guess it comes. Have we got an 11 that we can finally stick to? Or are we going to have this wholesale change? Or can we just say these are the 11?
I don't think Travis Head and Joe Burns are definite locks yet. I think if this test goes wrong for them, the first test against New Zealand, they could be replaced.
Kiwis are doing well.
They're
just gave the English a bit of how about it?
Which we're pretty big fans of.
The English, they were working for yet another draw and potentially a count pack system again, however that works. For me, I think you're right, mate. I don't think we have an 11 set. I think there's going to be a couple of changes. Where they come from, the bowlers, I think the bowlers are set. I think Pattinson will float around with the team. He may get a run. I don't see anyone else coming into that.
Yeah, I would say we're really close to an 11. This is the closest we've been in a long time. I think Burns needs to do something again, and I think Travis Head needs to do something again.
Well, based on that, mate, you're coaching. You are JL. All right, one in, one out. You got to drop an Australian. Who's it going to be for the next test, and why?
The easy option here is to say a bowler for James Pattinson.
You just told me they were 5, mate.
Yep, they are. I wouldn't do that. But I'm saying that's the easy option because you can say that they're being rested or rotated. I would say Travis Head for, if he was available, if I'm picking anyone, Nick Maddinson at 6. That's what I want to say. I think that's what everyone. I actually think that was the original plan.
Over perhaps blooding Pekowski.
Yeah, I think it was. I think Maddinson to bat 6 was the original plan.
Give him another shot. Okay.
So if Maddinson was available and I'm making a change, that would be the change I would make.
On a lighter note, probably one of the most enjoyable things of the game for me was the continuation of Tim Payne and his G-rated banter behind the stumps. We're used to I guess the 90s Healy and the 2000s Gilchrist and
the nice Gary
and then but a bit of the nasty stuff as well. And I must admit I didn't mind that either. But Timmy Payne and his G-rated stuff, he's getting some funny stuff. I think we're going to play something here.
Smells good, Dave. Smells very nice. Come on, Nathan.
Tell Rizwan he smelled good. Now, I don't know how that throws anyone off the game, but coming off the bat of asking Rizbar to babysit his kids last year, look, it adds a dimension of humour to the game, and I guess it's what I won't call it a CA directive, but I'm pretty sure they'd be pretty happy with that.
He's found a good niche, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has.
Not many blokes, I think, would be able to do that. I think a lot of guys would either they'd either not say anything at all, or they would go the complete other way and rip in.
It's good
to stuff. You probably can't blame the old stunt like.
Keep it up.
And how good was he after the game as well? In the interview,
giving Virat a clip.
Yeah, just asking for permission if we can play at the Gabba.
I mean, look, there's talk that he sort of has this last summer hurrah and nicks off, floats back into oblivion. But the way he's talking, no, it seems like he's going to stick his hand up and go, keep me on, boys, keep me on. How that works with Steve Smith, and we'll find out. Steve Smith last night telling us he rewards himself with a chocolate bar after scoring 100. Steve, you got to do something a little more exciting, mate.
Looks like a boy, acts like a boy, I think. Jeez. Come on, Stevie.
Now, something we're pretty passionate about, pathway cricket. The Under-19 National Champs rolls around next week in Perth. Starts on Monday. It's going to be huge.
Cannot wait.
Mate, what's the format? Take us through the format.
So, 10 teams, 8 games. So, you've got your 2 groups, Pool A and Pool B, 5 teams in each group. Top 2 go through to a semi-final. And if you'd like, the round 6 is a bit of a floating round, so it becomes. That's right.
Yep.
Sorry, the top 2 from each group.
Yep.
We're both right. First time ever. Usually it's just me. So the floating round is a quarter final if it can be done. Not depending on where people are. Not always the case. And then the finals are played. Everyone plays the extra game too. So they get 8 games in, which is really, really good. There's a CA11 team from the under-17 carnival, so the best from the under-17s. This year it's slightly different with the bowlers. There's in the quicks. The quicks are now the best under 18s, so they don't want the quicks playing in the 17s and the 9s. They're looking after the injuries and the stress factors.
Which is frustrating for a lot of the young kids who just want to get up there a little bit earlier, but it makes sense. The amount of young blokes drifting around, contracted players who have stress fractures, it's part of cricket, but if we can adjust and hold these guys back a little bit, get them stronger before we let them go, I think it's only going to help in the long term.
50 over format as well, so it's all white ball cricket. Which I understand why they do that, to get all the cricket in, but it is a bit of an interesting, because obviously you don't play, there's not a lot of white ball cricket played at the top level in terms of international stuff, one day format.
And there was an anomaly a few years ago, a New South Wales, now contracted player, Ryan Hackney, was the top run scorer of the tournament, yet didn't make the World Cup team that year. He's been pigeonholed as a bit of a red ball cricketer, and the Under-19 World Cup is 50 over white ball stuff again.
Exactly right. Exactly right. And that can be an argument as to why they play this format. But I mean, people who have followed this for a few years would know about 5 or 6 years ago it was actually a lot of 2-day red ball cricket. And it was very different. And that's obviously why second level cricket, which doesn't get spoken about a great deal, is so important. And if you look at Ryan Hackney now, he's done really well at second level. But not many people would know that because they follow the white ball stuff.
Now, the whole purpose of this Under-19 National Cricket Championships is to pick a team, and every 2 years we get a World Cup. This year we are lucky, there is a World Cup in January. It's going to be in South Africa. They're going to pick a team, so that perceivably the best players from the Under-19 National Champs, they're going to pick a team that get to go to South Africa. Mate, take us through it.
Yeah, so the Under-19 World Cup's a little different. 16 teams, which is really good. I'm a big fan of that. With the World Cups, I've always found that people say, we want to bring in these the newer nations and the weaker nations, but I think it's good to get them on the world stage. I get they're going to get belted, but give them exposure, give them a chance. How else are they going to improve unless they don't play against the best? So 16 teams, 4 groups. The top 2 from each group go back to the old Super League, which is exciting. Australia's in Group B. That we've got England, the old enemy, West Indies, and Nigeria. So one of the tougher groups. Good to see Nigeria there. There's also a couple of interesting teams. I think Japan is floating around this World Cup as well, so interesting to see how they go.
Don't underestimate it. They're a big baseball sort of style
yeah, that's very true.
nation, the Japanese. There might be some pinch hitters in there.
Exactly right.
So yeah, as I said, the team is picked on talent, not just the 19. The 19s plays a big part of the team. They've got to pick balance. All right, you can't just pick the top 5 bowlers, the top 5 bats. 19s are exciting because you've got a host of already contracted players going to be in the mix. Yeah,
it just shows how close some of these kids are to making it. Some of these guys have played Big Bash and they've played Shield cricket and they've played Marsh Cup, and you'll see in this tournament that some other kids are potentially better or potentially going to be better.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, you look, even though Mackenzie Harvey's out due to injury, he was a major part of the Big Bash last year.
Exactly
he scored runs. Fraser McGurk, I mean, we've all heard about him in the recent weeks. There's some really solid players that are already contracted that are going to be playing. So take us through them, mate.
Yeah, so there's Pat Rowe from Victoria. He's playing for Vic Country, the wicket keeper. He's also at St Kilda now. Be really good to see him have a good carnival. He's probably hasn't come on as much as I guess everyone would have liked, but he's got a lot of potential and a really good technique.
As you can see, he's still a kid.
Exactly right. And he's been contracted for a while now. So what I know, Connor Sully and Matt Whelan is the 2 opening bowlers from Queensland, both rookie contracts. Scary proposition. Connor Sully is seriously quick, and Matty Willans is just as tall. I think he might touch bigger than Billy Stanlake.
Stanlake and just
left armour as well.
Just gets that angle. And look, we did see him play at the under-19s last year, and they couldn't hit him. It wasn't the express pace, just the angles he was doing.
And the bounce, exactly right. So they're going to be a very scary side, Queensland. Yeah. Obviously, Jake Fraser McGurk, he's playing for Vic Metro. If he's not included in these Shield games, which you'd almost suggest that he would be, so he'll probably miss. The exciting one, I know one of your favourites, Jaden Goodwin from WA. He'll be joined by Sam Fanning. I know he's coming back from injury. He was with New South Wales, contracted now with WA. Tanvi Sangers playing for New South Wales Metro. He's
Yep.
just been announced as a signing for Sydney Thunder. He hasn't got a state contract yet, but obviously it's not far away for him. But he's an exciting leggy as well. Ollie Davies and Mackenzie Harvey,
So Davies is Thunder and New South Wales
both
as well.
injured, so they won't be at the carnival, but they would have been if they were available.
As you can see, there's a ton of contracted talent going to be part of this, which is exciting. Mate, got to ask you, I want you to pick 2 players from each team, players that we should watch. Who are going to be potentially contracted down the track or currently contracted?
Yeah, this is a good question. There's a lot of kids here that I could have gone with, especially with some of this with New South Wales and with Queensland. They're super talented this year around, and even Tasmania, I think they've got a good crop coming through too. So it was quite hard to do, but New South Wales, I've gone for Lockie Hearn, who's a batsman. We've seen him in the under-19 stuff for Australia. You expect him to potentially bat in that top order, whether he opens or bats in the middle order for Australia at the World Cup. So he's definitely one to watch. Brad Simpson, who's a Brett Lee clone. Again, I know he's one of your favourites.
Yeah, he's express pace and, once again, doesn't always get the wickets, but they just can't hit him.
That's exactly right. He's too quick, and he's a really good athlete, natural athlete too. So he's an exciting prospect out of there. For the NT's a bit different, so they pull in some players from other states to strengthen them up.
Team, isn't it?
Yeah, so I've gone for one outside, Jai Elcock, who's actually a local kid from down my way. So maybe a bit of bias there, but he's a good little bat. He's doing quite well in Victorian first grade. Getting good opportunities.
You would have coached him or had something to do with it?
A little bit. We'll say a little bit. Not as much as I would have liked, but a little bit. Addy Dave he's an NT local, and he's actually one of the better prospects to come through. Did quite well in the quad series that they played with the Hurricanes and all the other teams in the Strike League. So he's one to watch from the NT. Tassie, Mitch Owen, who made his second 11 debut the other week. Monster of a kid.
Stop with Mitch Owen. What is he, 6'5"?
At least.
Yep. And just punishes the ball.
Oh, he whacks it, and his bowling's improving. I think his run-up still needs. I remember seeing him last year, and I watched him run in, and I'm just thinking, what are you doing, mate? Your status ring, and you're that big, and you've got so much more pace to increase.
There's a reason why Mitch Owen was on spin last year, wasn't he?
Yep. Yep.
Taking a note out of the West Indians.
Mate, as a smaller bloke, as we're all aware, it angers me when I see people who are quite big and large come in and bowl off spin, because if I was that tall and that big, I'm telling you, I'd be bowling pace and I'd be bowling as quick as I bloody well could.
The story, I'm not sure on its accuracy, the story is Adam Griffo, the Tassie coach, when he went down to start his tenure, said, who is that bloke and what's he doing bowling spin at 6'5"? As you can see, he's now bowling pace.
Yeah. Speaking of bowling pace, the other Tassie kid I've gone for, Nick Davis.
He's just a kid.
He really played down to 17s. Yeah. He wasn't allowed to bowl, but he's lightning quick, and he bats just as well as he bowls. So he's a scary prospect in terms of just a genuine all-rounder, strong. Not as tall as probably you would expect for a kid with his pace, but he's really strong, and he's going to be allowed to bowl at this carnival. So I can't wait to watch him send down some rockets, and he'll whack the ball around too, no matter where he bats. ACT, Brock Lawrence.
Yeah, Indigenous boy from Wagga.
Dubbo.
Dubbo, sorry. Middle of nowhere.
Bowls offies, bowls well, bats really well, goes from ball one, similar to Jake Fraser McGurk in that respect, and he's a similar kind of build.
And New South Wales absolutely love him.
And he's a really good kid as well. Glenn Windsor, really clever all-rounder, more of a bowling all-rounder.
Another old country boy as well.
Yeah, and again, quite strong, similar to Nick Davis. Probably not as quick, but probably moves around as a bit smarter with the ball. His batting's quite handy at 5, 6, 7, 8. Fielding's exceptional. Good leader as well.
Yeah.
WA, look, Jaden Goodwin's the obvious one.
Clear stand.
Murray's son.
Yeah.
Absolute star. I can't wait to see him bat. He'll bowl a little bit too. Damien Burridge, the captain, bats and bowls really well.
He's been part of the pathway. You name an Australian team, he's been there.
Exactly right. Yeah.
So.
And he hasn't really, I guess in recent times, he hasn't really shown on the park what he can do. And I think this could be the tournament where he really breaks out. Because there's got to be a reason why they keep picking him.
Vic teams, we're not sure on how strong they're actually going to be this year, are we?
No, I'm not convinced. I think the depth is questionable. Yeah. Will Parker, obviously the leggy. He's one to watch, and whether he goes down the footy or cricket pathway, who knows?
Footballer Will Parker as well.
Yeah, and obviously the other one, if he's there, is Jake Fraser McGurk.
Which, as we've alluded to, we don't think he's going to be there. For me, the exciting one's the CA11 team. The young kids. 2 years ago, CA11 actually made the finals. So don't think these kids are 17 and think they're going to be pushovers, because And not only did they make the final, they played New South Wales Metro, who were, I think, 10 of the 11 are now contracted. And
they're
gave them a
just a
scare.
strong side.
Gave them a scare too.
Yeah, definitely. So, look, CA11, the obvious one is the player of the under-17s, Cooper Connolly.
West Australian on his home decks.
Can seriously bat.
Yeah.
His bowling was very good too. It'll be interesting to see how it goes. You know, they can only bowl the 10 overs, not the 15, like the 17s rules were. But yeah, I'm interested to see how he goes with both bat and ball. The other one's one of the under-18 bowlers, Ewan Nielsen, who's playing for the side, highly rated. Was picked for an Aussie 19 game and had to pull out due to injury.
Yep.
Super talent. So he's an interesting one.
Highly rated by WA as well.
Queensland, we've already touched on these two, Connor Sully and Matt Willens, the two quicks.
They're going to do some damage. Real damage, especially on the bowler-friendly WA decks. They're going to be a scary prospect too.
And speaking with Connor just the other day, actually, about his plans, he literally said, he goes, I'm going to back my pace in here and I'm not afraid to bump some of these kids out. So, good.
These boys are not, as I said, Connor is at the shorter of the two, but he's as Queensland as you get, so he's as tough as they come. So it's not all talk with him.
And he's certainly not short either.
No.
Matt Willens is just that tall that kind of looks kind of short next to him. I'd like to stand next to those two, jeez. Vic Country, I've got Todd Murphy, who's absolutely dominating for St Kilda in Premier Cricket. He's played a little bit of second 11 as well. He's going to be a really good player, especially with the ball, can bat as well.
Yep.
He's an off spinner. Ryan Hamill, he's been playing a lot of first 11 cricket this year in Premier Cricket for Frankston, and he's gone really well with the bat, some really big scores. I think he's kind of flying under the radar, and for me, he's probably the one Victorian out of the whole group that could really step up and give it a shake. So I've gone for a pair of Glenelg boys in Liam Scott, who's absolutely flying at the moment, and Josh Hoffman, who has been in the CA stuff over the last few years and probably fallen away a little bit last year, but got a big score the other week in first grade, and I think he's prime for a big tournament.
We may not see Scott there. We don't know if he's playing if he's been picked in the South Australian Shield team.
Yeah.
Another one coming through. So, look, it'd be great. The Shield, they're actually playing over in Perth, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Ironically. So, look, he might get bit parts in the 19s if he debuts, but it's going to be exciting for him nonetheless. As an 18-year-old to potentially debut.
Yeah, remarkable stuff from him. He's obviously moved there from New South Wales, backed himself, performed brilliantly with the bat and ball. I guess his idol is Shane Watson, and to be honest, that's probably a really good.
Yeah, he's a big lump of a kid as well, isn't he? Yeah. Look, really exciting. Make sure you keep an eye out for the under-19s. It's going to be huge. Coming up next, we've got Aaron Hardie, Wacker contracted, Scorchers contracted. Was part of the World Cup a couple of years ago.
Yep.
Had a huge under-19s carnival, and not many guys can make claim to this, but he has also got Virat Kohli and Joe Root out in CA touring games. So Aaron's going to be huge. Coming up next. And a big welcome to the show. Wacker contract, West Australian contracted, and Perth Scorchers contracted all-rounder Aaron Hardie. How are you, Hards?
Very well. How are you, boys?
Good, mate.
Going well.
Mate, day off today?
Yeah, day off this morning. Going to head into Wacker, watch the Marsh Cup final. Good start for the WA boys. I think 5 for 60 odd at the moment, which is very good.
Haven't checked, but that's quite impressive.
Yeah, won the toss and bowled.
Well, there you go.
Pretty rare in a final, I would have thought.
Yeah, but playing off at the moment. So.
Yeah, I guess.
Mate, on the Marsh Cup, you had a chance to debut, which was great. Look, a couple other states, you might have played every game, but given the Perth boys decided to, field essentially an Australian team for the round one of the Marsh Cup, it makes it hard for the up-and-comers like you. How did it feel? I mean, take us through playing those two games?
Yeah, it's awesome to play the two games, playing alongside some incredible cricketers. I got to play alongside Sean Marsh, which is something which never dreamed of happening.
You would have grown up watching him as well, wouldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely. He's always been a superstar in West Australian cricket. So to play alongside him, just spend time with him is incredible. And then other blokes, Nathan Coulter, Marcus Stoinis, Ashton Agar, the list goes on. There's a lot of really good cricketers in that team. Yeah,
I mean, for the general public, we looked at that and just said, wow, that's unfair. Not just for the rest of the competition, but for you up-and-comers coming through. And obviously it's shown going through to play the final today against Queensland over on their home patch, but for me, Queensland have been a bit hit and miss anyway.
Yeah. Mate, debuting at the Wacker, good feeling? Couldn't have written the script?
Yeah, no, it was awesome. Got my hat presented by Cam Bancroft, which is pretty cool. I've been growing up with Cam for a while, so to get it presented by him was awesome.
Willis and teammates?
Yeah, Willis and teammates went to the same school, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, it was an interesting game with a lot of rain affected, so we batted first, probably put on just over 200, which got changed down. I think they needed 160 off 20 overs in the end, so came on to bowl and good practice for the Big Bash, I guess, because it was pretty much a 20-20 by that stage.
Mate, just a quick question. What the hell are you? Are you a batsman? Are you a bowler? Are you an all-rounder? Where's Aaron Hardie fit in the team?
Oh, depends if I'm making runs or if I'm taking wickets. That's how I like to think of it. So, yeah, all-rounder if I'm making runs and taking wickets, but happy to play as a batsman, still play club cricket as a top-order batsman when I can't bowl, and then when I can bowl, it's just a bonus to be able to take the new ball or bowl first change as well. So,
yeah, for those of you who don't know, Aaron debuted in Shield cricket last year and 8 for, wasn't it, for the game?
Yeah. So I was probably more of a bowler in that game. Yeah, no, it just depends on the team and what the team needs.
Yeah, it's good to see, mate. And as I said, we sit at home thinking, well, what is he and what can he be? We've known you as a batsman in your younger years, so it's interesting to see you take the ball. Big Bash, mate. It's coming along pretty quickly. First full year as a contracted player. You did play a couple of games last year, but first full year as a contracted player with the Scorchers. Scorchers have always done well, mate. What do you think it's looking like this year?
Fingers crossed it's going to be another successful year. I think we certainly learned a lot last year, early on, especially in the batting department. We've got a few really big names this year in the batting department, like the likes of Karen Bancroft. Liam Livingston's going to be a great recruit for us. And then there's even the names like Sam Whiteman, who starred when he was available last year, and Ashton Turner. So it's still a pretty good lineup, I think, this year.
What are your goals for Big Bash?
I just want to play as many games as possible, and when you do get an opportunity, you just want to stamp your authority, show everyone what you can do. So my role, I don't know what my role is going to be this year. It's probably going to be batting 7 or 8 or something and bowling a few overs. So just whatever the game needs, whether it's come out and bash a quick 20 off 10 balls or something like that, or hopefully get to take the new ball in a couple of times, which would be awesome. So basically just whatever the team needs.
What do you feel your best role is? If you were picking the team, where are you batting? When are you bowling?
Open bowling and bat 4. That's the plan down the track. That's what I told the coaches. The plan is down the track anyway. So it's just about when you get an opportunity now, do as well as you can, and then hopefully work up to that in the future. Yeah,
and you are regarded as a pretty good leader, from what we've heard. So is that something that really interests you? As captaining in the future, is that the dream to captain the Scorchers?
Yeah, the dream is to captain West Australian cricket and the Scorchers. But obviously, if I can cement my place in the team first, that's definitely the first step.
Big injury over there with AJ Ty doing his elbow, and looks like he's going to miss most of the Big Bash season. You going over there for pizza and learn a few of his balls while he's not doing much?
I haven't. I should be picking his brain about his world famous knuckleball that he always talks about. But no, I haven't been around much, and no, it's a big loss for us. But yeah, he'll be annoying us as always, I'm sure.
Few injuries. That's probably going to help you moving forward, isn't it? Both from a Shield perspective and the Scorchers stuff.
Yeah, I think probably the guys who have been injured are probably the white ball cricketers in terms of AJ and Dorf and that kind of stuff. But yeah, it sucks to lose AJ and Dorf for the Scorchers because obviously they're world-class bowlers. But again, just to have them around the group, hopefully get a few more opportunities and learn from what they've done in the past. It would still be great to have them around the squad and just learn from them. Yeah, definitely.
Mate, we touched on Cam Bancroft before in your relationship with him. He's seen as a little bit of a different operator. Who would you class, and this can be Wacker or Scorchers, who would you class as sort of a different cat, sort of strutting his stuff as one of your teammates? Who's a little bit different?
There's a lot of different people out in the cricket community at the moment. Cam's always one. He loves his yoga and all that kind of stuff. Makes his own coffees. never drinks coffees on a away trip that he doesn't make himself.
So has he got the setup in his suitcase or something?
He packs, it's called an AeroPress or something like that. He buys the beans from somewhere in Perth and takes them everywhere with him, which is pretty funny.
Oh, boy.
That's brilliant, mate.
And then AJ, you guys obviously know what AJ's like. He's always got something up his sleeve.
Different. They're very, very different. He has his own pizza restaurant in his own backyard at the moment, so that's what I was alluding to before. Finally, mate, we'll leave you alone, but who's the young gun to watch in the Big Bash this year, in your opinion? It can be a teammate or just someone from around the comp. You've played with most of the boys around the competition in your pathway cricket, so who are you keeping your eye on for a breakout season, so to speak?
I think one name definitely to watch is Cameron Green, fellow teammate of mine at WA and at the Scorchers. For someone like him, he'll be bowling 140 Ks, and he's shown what he can do with the bat in the last couple of weeks, making a Sheffield Shield 100. So for someone to be able to bowl at that kind of pace and then also hold a stick, it's pretty special. So he'll definitely one to watch out for.
No, I agree with you there, mate. Him fit and firing with both bat and ball is going to be a pretty scary prospect. Mate, thanks for coming on the show today. Really appreciate your time. Get into the whacker, cheer the boys on, and mate, we really look forward to watching you both from a state perspective as well as a BBL perspective this coming season.
Awesome. Thanks, lads.
That was great hearing from Aaron. He's a huge talent. He's going to be one to watch in the years to come.
Yeah, super impressive kid too, isn't he? He's a great leader and a great person, so I can't wait to see him in the Big Bash this year, and obviously be pretty happy that the WA boys won the Marsh Cup.
They did with Sean Marsh hitting 100. So big win for those boys, and to be honest, they were favourites the whole way through. Okay, who am I going to be watching this week, mate? Interesting. I'm going to watch the Pakistanis settle, and I think they're going to make a real contest out of this. Okay, I don't think, sure, it was an innings, but an innings and change win for the Australians. But as you said, there were glimpses, and I think those glimpses are actually going to come on. Are they going to win Adelaide? I don't know, but I think it could be a real tussle. Babar Azam, as we said, he hit 100. He really ground that out too. The Australians were dominating when he came in, and he just anchored, and it wasn't a slow 100. His strike rate was all right.
Yeah,
so,
classy player.
Yeah, so good one. So I'm looking forward to that. Mate, who's copping a whack this week? Who's getting the blowtorch?
Pakistan Selection Committee. How are you going to a test match without your best ranked bowler on the ICC test bowling rankings? The 13th best bowler in the world, Mohammad Abbas, is ridiculous. You've gone in with 3 kids who need some experience, need some leadership, and your best bowler's just sitting there carrying the drinks.
You've got to think he did something wrong.
Are you kidding me? Who's... I'm not going to say it, but yeah, he must have. He must have done something wrong.
Must have taken up a seat in a plane or something, because, mate, normally I think your whacks are a little bit premature or a little bit out of it, but I'm with you on that. Pakistan, get it right.
He offers something different too. As I said this last week, he hits the spot, he uses the seam, he's got a great record, quality player, and all the other boys are young, they're inexperienced, they're just trying to come in and bowl quick, and that was evident, and it wasn't going to work.
On day 2, when the Australians, when Joe Burns and Warner were just having their way. They were just literally having their way.
And when things got tough, they resorted to spin. Harris Hale bowled 19 overs. Iftikhar bowled 12 overs. Yasir Shah bowled 40-something overs. I think 48 overs in the end, which is, it's nearly a one-day game. They need an experienced bowler in that side, and I will not be surprised to see Mohammad Abbas play this test match.
Looking forward to it. Next week's show, we're going to be talking about 2 things. We're going to be talking about the under-19 cricket champs, doing a real wrap on that. Exciting to see young kids come through. We're also going to be talking all things Big Bash. Big Bash being just around the corner, which is really, really exciting part of the year. This week in cricket, mate, what are you looking forward to?
I'm actually looking forward to the 2 Shield games. There's obviously a lot of players playing Test cricket now, and the 19s kids are flying and they're up and about. So it's all about the young guys at the moment. Big Bash isn't far away, so I'm sure there's some guys even concentrating on that. So we're going to see some more opportunities for some young guys at the Shield level, and I can't wait to see, I guess, those guys who are 19 to 22 we haven't seen a great deal of. I'm really rapt to see them get an opportunity.
And for me, it's all about heading to Perth and sunning myself on a beach. That's what I'm looking forward to. As usual, guys, thank you very much for watching us. You can watch us on our YouTube channel, download our podcast, visit our website, bigfella.littlefella.com.au, or jump on Instagram for all things cricket. Little Fella, thank you very much.
It's been fun, mate. I'll see you in Perth.
Thank you, guys.